Hello everyone, this is Gaming Chronicles here, and welcome to a in-depth review of all 6 Final Fantasy 1 NES characters. I might do this for the Dawn of Souls one day, but we're just going to focus on the NES version. Let's start with the fighter. The top 2 rows are the classes unpromoted and what they look like on their sides and in front of them. Same with the bottom 2 rows, but also that's how they look promoted. So let's start with the fighter. Knight. This character is one of the best, if not the best, to have. He can equip the best armors in the game, apart from basically almost tying with everyone else except the Black Belt and Monk for defense. Now he can get up to 55, about 60-ish defense or something. 59 or 60-ish. He can equip all the helmets except for the Opal helmet and such. He's the only one that can equip the steel armor, which is 34 absorb, but weighs down heavily. You can get the Opal Bracelet if you're doing a solo run for him. And if you're not doing promote run, the fighter is your base heal damage, tank damage. He's got good equipment, like the best. Like he's the only one unpromoted character that can use like the ice armor, like the mail, fire mail, but he has to be promoted into a knight to use the opal stuff, the other opal stuff, except for the opal bracelet. Anyone can equip that, even unpromoted. So yeah, his best weapon is going to be the Sunblade, the Sun Sword, which is basically the Red Mage's his best weapon. This is apart from the Masmune, and the reason the fighter does not get better weapons outside of the Masmune after the Sunblade is because the Katana is exclusive to the ninja. You gotta be a thief and then promote into a ninja to equip that. The XCalibur, that's a knight only weapon. Now the knight, if the weapon thing actually worked where like the weapon does more damage based on if the enemy's weak to something, whereas there's a lot of enemies weak to something in this game, so it would do double damage, I think, or 50% more damage. I'm not sure which one, but let's say it was double damage. If he was doing a promote run, you would give him the XCalibur. I think there's a Final Fantasy 1 Restored. I might try that for a solo run one day. So yeah, but the NES game, it's bugged. It doesn't work. Like the Sunblade, the Sun Sword should be doing more damage to the undead. Coral Sword should be doing more damage to water type enemies. Ice Sword should be doing more damage, I think, fire enemies and such. And you would think like Sabre would do more damage to almost everything except chaos. However, that is not the case. It's bugged, it doesn't work. So the best weapon for a fighter would be the Sun Sword, but he also gets the most hit percent up, 3 per level. Well, the Black Belt also gets that as well. So his best armor would be like Opal Bracelet and the Pro Cape, or no, not Pro Cape. He would be using. He's got Pro Ring, the ribbon. Unless you want to give him more absorb, then you'd have to bang on his magic defense. He has some of the best magic defense in the game, apart from the Black Belt. And definitely better than a Monk, because the Monk only gets 1 per level up. So there's a bug with the Black Belt and Monk later. I'll mention about that. But yeah, the fighter is basically your like you said, like I said, take damage, deal damage, as such, and he'll have strength every level up too. So the only characters that can beat him on damage is, I think, the Thief, Ninja. The Ninja, since he has fast, he won't have as much. Unless even if you maxed his strength out, he's not gonna be doing as much damage as the fighter, I don't think, even with fast. But although I could be wrong, nope, I think he'd be doing about the same, not a little bit more damage as a ninja with maxed out strength, like one strength up per level up, and 2 of those for damage up. So yeah, and the ribbon just gives you. I'd prefer that you don't use like a silver helmet or anything like that for the fighter. I just recommend, unless you bring like 3 mages or 3 of anyone else, or you use like a black belt and don't promote, Otherwise, I would just recommend using the ribbon, because if you don't promote, then you won't get the Dragon Mail, which gives resistance to fire, ice, lightning, and the Aegis Shield also gives protection to stone and some other elements and such. So yeah, he's gonna, and everyone's best weapon is the Masmune, unless you're a black belt or monk. Then you have 2 hits per turn with both fists, and with 3% per level up, that's kind of like it's a really broken thing. I might try to run where the black belt doesn't use his fists, but that'll be for another day. And as a knight, you get up to 4 charges of white magic, of levels 1 through 3. The ruse, which if you get the defense sword later, or if you have someone that use invis 2, you don't really need that. Cure, which is a little bit, heals like 15 to 32 points. It's random, kind of like a potion. And Cure 2, just a little bit of healing, and no blaze, and well, anti-lightning, anti-fire are the 2 elemental protection spells. You can use like the no spells, but you can't use anti-ice because that's level 4. It would have been nice if you could learn that, But yeah. So the thief. Yeah, we're gonna move on to the thief. The thief is the worst character to have, for basically the whole game. If you think about it, because the fighter, if you don't promote, gets really good armor and very good weapons. As you progress the game, he equip almost every weapon in the game. But the thief, it doesn't get good armor. In fact, you have 6 absorb before fighting the wizards. But he has the highest stat, and he has the highest luck of everyone. He has base 15 luck at the beginning of the game, and I believe each level up gives you a point of luck. And since there's a bug in this game, all you need to know in order to run successfully for the most part, unless it's an unrunnable encounter, or let's say there's I think the Badman in the Sky Castle, wherever, I think the 4th dungeon, where Tiamat is, and when you get to the 3rd floor of Temple of Fiends Revisit, it's kind of hard to run away from those guys. But so if you get unlucky, you might have to reset a few times, but overall it shouldn't be too bad. However, his damage output is not good. Yeah, his base strength is better than the Black Mage, but he can get the rapier, but that's 9 damage, 5 hit. His next weapon is a scimitar, 10 damage, 10 hit. And the other weapon, the Sabre, 13 damage, 5 hit. So you want to use the scimitar until you get a couple more levels up, where you get to 2 hits per turn with the Sabre. Even then, it's a big lottery against Astos. Because even in the low 20s, I did the solo thief unpromoted run. I just save state over and over to get the RNG needed to beat Astos in battle. You could reset over and over and over and over. You still may not really get him in a reasonable amount of time, So, and speedrunners, try to go as fast as possible. So, instead of grinding up to, like, say level 26, 3 hits per turn for the scimitar, like level 28 for 3 hits per turn on the Sabre, you just go in there hoping to get crits and destroy Astos. Because the thing is, he's not going to get a better weapon. Now, I cheated years ago to give the thief the Silver Sword, and at level 12 he was able to take out 2 wizards and Astos without too much of a problem. But even then, his attack is way lower than the fighter, that it still takes a little bit of RNG. It would just cut out a lot of it, because the Silver Sword, I believe, is higher up on the tiers of weapons, like the rapier, knife, the wooden staff. Could be like 1, 2, or 3 on the list. The Silver Sword's probably like 8 or 9 or 10. So it's got like 8 to 10% crit chance. But this is what Blue Red Kill was saying before 2015. He believes there's 50 weapons in the game, and the Masmune's the lowest at 50. So it goes, instead of looking at the crit chance based on a weapon, it just goes by whatever number that weapon is on the index. So XCalibur is like probably 48, 49, and the Katana is like 48 or so. So yeah, your best weapon as a thief you get after Astos. But you can argue it's situational to use which weapon. You got the Dragon Sword, 19 damage, 15 hit. You have the Coral Sword, 19 damage, 15 hit. And you have the Rune Blade, 18 damage, 15 hit. Now, some people point out, a lot of people point out that the Rune Blade is the best weapon because of the crit chance, you know. But the thing is, this is a slightly higher crit chance, you know. And you saw in my Soul Thief run, even with the basically perfect strength up to like whatever level, I wasn't beating him with the Rune Blade, and then I switched to the Coral Sword, and I'd suddenly beat him first try with that weapon. So even though you're missing out on 1 damage, you're trying to bank on that higher crit chance. But the thing is, you know, it doesn't increase the more turns that go by. It's the same percentage regardless of how many swings you take, even if it's 3 hits per turn. So you should probably just use the Coral Sword or Dragon Sword, you know. I don't know which one has better crit chance, but whichever one has the higher crit chance, even though they're both same damage, just go with that one. The Thief, like the Fire, doesn't learn any magic to promote it. Basically, the Thief's best weapon, of course, is the Masmune. But I'm talking before that point. The best weapon is either going to be the Rune Blade, Coral Sword, or Dragon Sword. So yeah, and then you'll get the Opal Bracelet, and then you'll get the Ribbon, Pro Cape, Pro Ring for 51 Absorb. The Fire can go up to like, I think, 60 Absorb. But promoted, the best armor for the night would be, I believe, the Dragon Mail, which is 42 Absorb. The Aegis Shield, which is, I think, 16 Absorb, and then like 8 Absorb from the Pro Ring, and then like 8 from like the healing helmet or whatever helmet gives you the save. Or the the Aegis Shield, I think it is 60 Absorb. The Opal Shield, I think, might provide a lightning resistance. But if you don't have Ribbon on him, you might as well get the stone thing, you know, from the Aegis Shield. But the ninja, once you promote into a ninja, like, you most likely have the Ice Sword, like the Ice Sword or Flame Sword with you, and the shields, Fire Ice, and the Mail, Fire Ice. You can equip those, but you need to get levels up to get those 4 charges of magic and all the 4 tiers of levels of spells, 1 through 4, Black Magic. Which the level 1 spells at that point are no good. Sleep's bugged and you automatically wake up from it when it's your turn. Fire and Lightning is just, you get Fire 2 and Lightning 2 at that point, but then again you have items for that. The only spell that will be beneficial for the ninja is Fast. And then you get the Katana, which is 33 damage and like, I think 25 hit or something like that. It's basically almost like the same as the Sun Sword, but I think it might be a higher critical hit chance. So yeah, which is fitting for a ninja because the Katana is a ninja type weapon, you know. Yeah, he can equip basically every fire weapon once he promotes into a ninja, and then you get the Katana used fast, and especially if you max out your attack, your strength, it's no problem. So yeah, the Black Belt and Monk. Here's something interesting. They get very few weapons. Like, in fact, I think like a couple of staves and like Scythe or 2, whatever they're called. Like the iron, like the cane size, power staff, the staffs. But their main thing, this is the only class that cannot learn a magic unpromoted or promoted. But they get 2 hits per turn right off the bat at level 1 because they have 2 fists. So yeah, but it's such low damage. It's 2 damage, and that damage goes up by 2 every level up until you reach level 50 and you get 100 damage. And their crit chance is based off their level times 2. So you could argue to have this guy be in the top slot instead of the Fire. But the problem is, like, he's going to be getting less. Like, if you don't equip any armor at all, the most armor you can get is 50. Well, that's a good thing, actually. There's actually a bug where if you only have the ribbon on, if you level up, then it'll say that level is your absorb. So if you get to level 50, you get 50 absorb. And the thing is, he has the most magic defense per level up in the game as a black belt, 4 per level up. So you do not want to like promote into a monk, because that's a downgrade, because he only gets 1 point of magic defense per level up. So even though he has rib, he's more susceptible to getting rubbed or whatever, take more damage from the elemental spells. So if you stay as a monk, I mean, yeah, black belt, that's good. And they're the only class, promoted and unpromoted, that can't use any shields. The Pro Cape is a shield. So yeah. And there's no fast, so if you want to knock out Chaos quickly before he tries to slow you, just get to level 50 or what to level 48, and just knock down Chaos in like 2 hits. Or if you do a Black Mage Black Belt run, or Red Mage Black Belt, or a Ninja Monk thing, just have fast, put it on the Black Belt, and then have Black Belt knock out Chaos. You can do it in one hit. You know, I might try to show that one day. I think someone already did that. Very simple to go by, and crit chance times 2 was 2 times level, or level times 2. So level 50, you basically guarantee the crit. So that's real good. You can do over 1,000 damage at the end, over 2,000 with fast, and on some enemies about 4,000. And the cap, I think, is like 6,000 something in this game. Although you can do that in the restored version of the game, where Sabre and Sabre work, you know. So moving on to the Red Mage. The Red Mage is a jack of all trades, master of none, and I would say this would be the least beneficial character to promote. The Red Mage is basically a mage and fighter type, except he has less base strength, but he can use a lot of white and black magic up to level 5 spells. You can't learn Lightning 3 level 6 and Ice 3 level 7 until you promote into a Red Wizard. So yes. But you do get the chainmail at the beginning, like the fire, but you cannot equip like the other stuff, like wooden shields, iron shields, silver shields. Even promoted, the only shield you can equip is the Pro Cape. So yeah, and you got Pro Ring, and that's nothing's better than that one in that slot. And then you have the ribbon to give you elemental protection and resistances to just about everything. And also, you get up to the Sun Sword. No difference if you are a Red Wizard for that, because you don't have the Death Ringer in this game, which will be 35 damage, I think 30 or 25 here or something. But that's in the Dawn of Souls. But you can equip the Sun Sword, the Ice Sword, the Flame Sword, and the Silver Sword. And the Short Sword, but you cannot equip any of the axes. So yeah, but you do get Fire 2, Lightning 2, Ice 2, unpromoted. And you get Fast, Cure, Cure 2, Cure 3. Unfortunately, you can't get Cure 4 promoted. And the Red Mage, the Red Wizard is the only class that doesn't get any level 8 spells. You get up to Ice 3 and Lightning 3, and that's it. And you can use Mute as well for like Chaos. Although my strat would be, my recommendation is you could try to fast up and try to hit Astos before he slows you. Or you can get 3 or 4 casts of Ice 2, or 3 casts of Ice 2, use that on Astos, and if he slowed you, when he's about to damage you, you can use Fire 2 or Lightning 2 on him to wipe out the rest of his health. So yeah, and you would want to use Lightning 2 on the Wizards at the beginning, and then when there's like 1 left, slice him down with the sword. You should have 2 hits return. You could fast up and try to take out the Wizards that way, but that gives them an extra turn to hit you, and they crit and hit you pretty hard, you know, even as the fighter, you know. So, yeah. And you have, when you promote into a Red Wizard, you still don't get any of the heal spells, unfortunately, but you do get, we get all the null spells, anti-ice, anti-lightning, anti-fire, as Red Mage. You don't have to be promoted for that. And, you get access to the life spell, which in a solo run is completely trash. It doesn't benefit you, because if you can raise another person up in a solo challenge, you want to, but you just can't use them in battle. And what's the point of raising someone up if you're not going to use them in battle? So yes, but it would be good if you have if you don't have a white mage. Although if you use that in combat and the enemy goes, they target them or they use a damage spell, you wasted your time there. When you could have, like, fastened someone, or you could have used, like, the Bane Sword for a small chest and knock out the opponent, or you could have used, like, some damage spells, or you could have healed someone. So, yeah, no difference in weapons between these two, and nothing really different with the armor either. You get no better weapons or armor as a Red Wizard, so you might as well say a Red Mage. You do get Lightning 3 and Ice 3 as the Red Wizard, though, but that's about it. If you could get Cure 4 or like Nuke or Fade with this guy as a Red Wizard, that'd be great. But unfortunately, unless you're playing randomizer, it's not happening, or you cheat. Moving on to the White Mage. This is basically your healer, the support class. Kind of like the Red Mage, except the Red Wizard don't get any of the heal spells. Oh, but the Red Mage, the Red Wizard, can learn Invis 2 and Fog 2, so yes. And Ruse as well. The White Mage gets Ruse, Cure, and is the only class to use the harm spells. You can get up to harm 3, which does, I think, 120 to 240 damage. And when you promote into a White Wizard, you get Fade, Harm 4, and Cure 4. So yeah. But then again, you don't really want to get Harm 4. You could, but it only works on the undead, like zombies and the Lich and Lich 2. You could probably buy the other spells, like anti-something, like anti-death, I think, and whatever the other spell is. Heal 3. Yeah, you want Heal 3, Cure 4, and the anti-spell. Because if you use Harm 4, you're limiting your those level 7 spells in a way, and Harm 4 won't really do a lot late game. It can do up to 320 damage, but if you get Fade, it does the same damage as well, but it's level 8. And you can get Life 2 level 8 as well, which is like Life 1. It raises someone from the dead, but instead of leaving them on 1 HP, it acts like a revive and max potion like in Pokemon. So it gives you, or full restore, it gives you full health instantly. Unfortunately, it doesn't give them their buffs back, but if they had debuffs before they die, you can use that, and it erases the debuffs. So the White Mage, but unfortunately the White Mage can get up to level 7 spells, including the Heal 3, but not Cure 4. So really, you're only promoting for a better weapon until a Masmune, which is Thor's Hammer, 18 damage and like 10 hit or something like that. But, or 15 hit, I think. But you can use that item as Thor's Hammer as Lightning 2. Kind of like the Zeus Gauntlets. But your best weapon as a White Mage would be, I would agree with the Game Champ 3000 on this one, the Power Staff for the damage. But, you know, once you beat, but if you go like the Zeus Gauntlet, you get the Zeus Gauntlets and take out the eye, or you mute him and then ruse up, you can eventually knock him down. And then you get out and go promote, you're good anyway. Now, the Thor's Hammer is better than the Power Staff. 6 more damage and like 15 more hit. The Power Staff is 12 damage and 0 hit, but has a higher critical hit chance than the Silver Hammer. But unless you get to its return already, at that point when you use the Power Staff, you want to use the Silver Hammer, because that's 12 damage, 5 hit. It's going to be a lower crit chance, but you got 2 times the opportunity to crit with that weapon, whereas you only get 1 shot with the Power Staff. Although it's a higher crit chance, but once you get to its return, then you can use that. Otherwise, you can sell it for some money. And the White Wizard, the only thing they get to equip that's different than the White Mage would be the White Shirt, which is, I believe, is 25 Absorb, and also gives Invis 2. So you can equip that if you want to in a mixed party, but solo run, you know, you're better off equipping the Opal Armor, the Opal Shield, not the Opal Shield, the Opal, what's it called, the Opal Ring, yeah, it's 34 Absorb, and you go use the Defense Sword to replace Ruse. It does the same thing, but as an item, it doesn't use any charges, so you can keep your level 1 spells to Cure and Fog in the end game, because Harm late game does basically no damage compared to their total HP. So yeah, and you can get a Light Axe for Harm 2 as well two light axes in this game. So last but not least, the Black Mage. The Black Mage, you're basically focusing on those offensive magic black mage spells, black magic. And you get Fire 2, Line 2, Ice 2, and you get those charges a lot quicker than a Red Mage. So does a White Mage, but that's just spells for undead and like support. But Black Mage is all about attacking with magic. You get up to level 7 spells, Ice 3, and a Blind for the Black Mage. The Black Wizard gets Sabre, which does nothing. In this game, it's this bug. It's supposed to raise your attack and your accuracy. It doesn't work. And Nuke, you get Nuke. That is the best spell in the game, offensive-wise. And otherwise, we could say the other best spells would be like Life 2 and Cure 4, Heal 3. The best damaging spell is Nuke. Unless you have like something that's weak to Ice, you get a high roll with Ice 3. In that case, it'll do up to 420 damage with Ice 3. I've seen that before on like the Nightmares. Those things that look like bad ponies, but with like purplish and stuff. But yeah. Otherwise, Nuke, you want to use that because nothing resists it or is weak to it. So yeah. Your best weapon as the Black Mage would be the Mage Staff. It's 12 damage and like 10 hit, I think, or 15 hit, something like that. No, I think it's 10 hit. Until the Masmune, of course. And you get Slow 2, Fire, Ice, Lightning, all 3 tiers of those different levels. And you use Temper, but it's bugged, it doesn't work. It's like Sabre, but it doesn't improve your accuracy. Unless you play something that fixes those things, you know, these bugs. And Promoted, the only thing different is your best weapon, apart from Masmune, is the Cat Claw, which is 65,000 damage. Not 65,000. Wow, it'd be a lot. 65,000 gold, something like that. 22 damage and like 15 hit, I think. So it's just a slightly weaker version of the Silver Sword. But you do get Nuke, and you can equip the Black Shirt, which is 25 Absorb, and cast Ice 2. You can use that if in a mixed party for the Absorb, and also cast Ice 2, and conserve your level 4 spells. But you can also get Fast and Masmune and Slice on Chaos in the end. So I hope you all enjoy this. This might not be my... I'll definitely try to prove what my thing with in-depth reviews one day. But there you go. That's all 6 classes unpromoted and promoted for Final Fantasy 1 NES. I hope you all enjoy this. Until I said this is Gaming Chronicles. Peace out and be safe. Keep on gaming and keep on rocking.